From the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
We're starting with breaking news. Some incredible pictures coming out of Baltimore Live. You may have seen them throughout our newscast tonight beginning at 4 o'clock. You're looking at a riot in the streets.
That's right. At least 7 police officers are hurt after people converged there and started throwing rocks and bottles at police officer. This turned violent. This comes hours after the funeral for 25-year-old Freddie Gray. He was critically injured while in police custody, then died. Again, these are live pictures. We've been monitoring our stations there in Baltimore. There's an Orioles game tonight, and they closed the gates to Camden Yards, and police told folks to hurry before that if they were going to go to the game. We know that other Maryland police departments are assisting there. Prince George's County and Montgomery counties, they've tweeted out that they are going to help, as well as Maryland State Police.
And we understand that the police suffered broken bones. Many suffered broken bones in these attacks, one unresponsive. And we are following these developments closely. Look for the latest on NBC Nightly News. They'll have live reports from Baltimore as we continue to watch the situation unfold.
And we are also streaming these live pictures on WAVY.com. If you want to continue to watch, they're right there for you on WAVY.com. Well, they are some of the most elite of our military, the Navy SEALs, and tonight they are mourning the loss of 2 of their own right here at home.
At the same time, the Navy has one big question. What went wrong at the training pool at Little Creek? It may be a while before we find out exactly what happened.
Navy investigators tend to take a while. 32-year-old Seth Lewis died on Friday. 34-year-old Brett Merrihew passed away Sunday afternoon.
Both were found at the bottom of the training pool Friday afternoon at JEB Little Creek Fort Story. Still, a lot of loose ends in this story.
10 on your side's Jason Marks has been pulling together the new information. Jason, what have you learned?
Nicole, the SEALs were taken to the Norfolk Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy, but the findings have not yet been released. That information could be a big part in figuring out exactly what happened. They were 2 of the Navy's finest, highly decorated Navy SEALs, and tonight their deaths continue to be a mystery. 32-year-old Seth Lewis and his teammate, 34-year-old Brett Merrihew, were found at the bottom of the combat training facility pool at Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek Fort Story. Merrihew is a Detroit native. He earned a Bronze Star and Combat Action Ribbon, first time in the Navy and Marines before that. Lewis also earned a Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and Medal of Valor during his deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. He's from Queens, New York. Senator Side asked Navy officials many questions, most of which they could not answer. We're told Lewis and Merrihew were using the pool on their own time. They were working out, but weren't diving. They did not have any equipment on. This could be a very long investigation. Navy officials tell 10 on your side they are doing interviews with other sailors who used the pool Friday, though the Navy won't say if there are any witnesses. For now, the pool remains closed. The Navy says that's standard protocol whenever there's a death. Officials are reviewing policies to determine if they were followed and if anything needs to be changed. And there's no word when that pool will be open. We're told the investigation could take weeks, if not months, to complete. In the newsroom, Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
Jason, thank you. Our coverage continues on WAVY.com. We have all of the stories we've done on this accident since this first broke on Friday, including information on both Navy SEALs.
Also tonight, the search for a killer at the oceanfront. A man is gunned down on Atlantic Avenue in the middle of College Beach weekend, but police now say the killing was not tied to that event. That side's Deanna LeBlanc has got an update in the past few hours. Deanna.
Yeah, Tom, right now police are saying at least that the victim, 20-year-old Stratton Mitchell, should not be tied to College Beach weekend. What they aren't saying is if the person who pulled the trigger was part of that weekend party. While thousands of college kids spent the weekend at the oceanfront, police say the 20-year-old man from Chesapeake shot and killed outside an Atlantic Ave hotel was not participating in College Beach weekend. When we asked why, police said Stratton Mitchell was not a college student and was not staying at a hotel. Police tell us Mitchell was shot around 3:30 a.m. Saturday near Atlantic Avenue and 25th Street. This cell phone video shows a large police response, but police were not able to track down the person who pulled the trigger, and they don't have a suspect description to release. You can see one officer trying to revive Mitchell, but he later died at the hospital. We now know 60 police officers were still on duty on their bicycles and in cars at the time of the shooting. Police did not tell me if that was a higher or lower number than the police force present earlier in the night. They did say they believe they were highly visible and well staffed all weekend. Police also couldn't tell us tonight if the weekend was a success from a safety standpoint, but did estimate they made at least 20 arrests Friday night and that a full crime report won't be available for a few weeks. Now, today we also checked in with Virginia Beach City Councilman John Earn. He oversees several hotels here at the oceanfront. We wanted to know if it was a success from that standpoint. He says that business-wise revenue has really remained the same over the last few College Beach weekends, but that some hotels did invest more in private security this time around, and that proved helpful because private security did have to knock on some hotel room doors and give people warnings, but no one, at least in the hotels that he checked with, had to be kicked out. Live in Virginia Beach, I'm Deanna LeBlanc. 10 on your side.
Thank you, Deanna. Also in Virginia Beach, 23-year-old Michael Casey is charged with murder in another part of the city. Casey's accused in the shooting death of 26-year-old Jameel Simmons yesterday morning on St. Matthew's Square in Hilltop. Simmons leaves behind 2 young children. Casey is in the Virginia Beach jail tonight.
Chesapeake police are also looking for a killer tonight. Investigators say someone shot and killed 28-year-old Jamal Sampson from Hampton on Saturday. Police say they found his body in a Mercedes on Lake Village Drive off of Gilmerton Road. Call the crime line if you know anything about this case.
Another guilty plea involving money. This from a police captain in Waverly. We've been covering this story. Douglas Davis pleaded guilty to charges of obtaining money by false pretenses. State police say that Davis claimed to work hours that he really didn't. In addition to working in Waverly, Davis also worked in Newsome's and Northampton County, North Carolina. Davis told our Andy Fox back in September that he was set up. The sentence for Davis, that includes 30 days in jail with 60 more served in work release or on weekends.
It's the beginning of the end for Landmark along the Virginia Beach oceanfront. 10 on your side was there as the wrecking ball is swinging on the Cavalier Hotel. It's expected to take 3 weeks to bring down the Landmark on Atlantic Avenue. Now, the old Cavalier is undergoing renovations. Both hotels near 42nd and Atlantic will be turned into Marriott locations. We posted more pictures of the demolition of the new Cavalier Hotel on WAVY.com.
Still ahead on WAVY News 10 at 6. See why they're taking down a lot of trees at the airport, all for the sake of your safety in the air. Plus,
locking kids in secluded rooms and holding them down or holding them in place, all in the interest of maintaining control. We confront the people who use these methods in Hampton Roads coming up.
Lots of sunshine earlier today, but these clouds have started moving on into the region. Is there any rainfall with that? Well, yeah, but not very much at all. Here's a live look at our tower cam, and here's a live look at where it's raining. Is there any rain in our forecast? It's going to warm up, too. Have the answers in just a few minutes.
And in sports, a multi-year and multi-million-dollar bet on RG3.
that and more as we continue on this Monday night.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 6 with Tom Shad, Nicole Livas, Chief Meteorologist Don Slater, and Bruce Rader's Sports.
Always get more at Checkered Flag, like lifetime oil and filter changes, lifetime Virginia State inspections, lifetime towing, and a lifetime service and parts guarantee. Plus, a car wash with every service visit. It's all under this flag, Checkered Flag.
What is the right way? It's the life you drive towards every day. It's a life lived with honesty, integrity, and community. It's about doing business the right way. And that's the only way it's done when you know who you're riding with. Charles Parker Automotive.
Robert E. Lee helped to design it. President Abraham Lincoln planned his assault from it. Jefferson Davis was imprisoned at it. And on May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it will be invaded.
Bodacious Bazaar invades Fort Monroe for a 3-day shopping extravaganza. It's everything you love about Bodacious Bazaar. Artists, crafters, local businesses, great food trucks, and live music. In addition, this year, wine lovers can attend a special wine tasting and bring home a souvenir glass. Join Bodacious Bazaar and Wine Festival for a weekend of fun for everyone.
Right now, Griffin Doors will deliver and install a brand new garage door opener for $199. Only $199 with no hidden fees. Call Griffin Doors today or click griffindoorsva.com.
You decided to downsize your home. Then I said the contract should include an inspection, which revealed you weren't alone. Let a RE/MAX agent guide you. RE/MAX. Dream with your eyes open.
New cars should never feel like this. At Checkered Flag Volkswagen, our salespeople aren't paid on commission. Their only focus is your complete satisfaction. Checkered Flag Volkswagen. Fast, simple, smart.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
Hundreds of trees around Norfolk International Airport may soon be cut down.
The airport authority says it's for the safety of airline travelers and wildlife. 10 on Your Side did some digging on this and found the FAA website. Between January and October last year, there were 27 wildlife strikes at Norfolk International. Wildlife conservationists say something should have been done sooner to protect wildlife around the airport. Airport officials say they didn't act sooner because of the planned expansion.
The airport authority is doing what it can to minimize any hazards from wildlife in this area in what is actually a wildlife-rich environment.
There is no word on when the trees will be cut. The airport still has to get final approval from the city of Norfolk, the state and federal government before these trees can be removed.
Next at 6, it's supposed to be a last resort for controlling kids in the classroom. Hear from parents and former employees, though, who say restraint and seclusion is way overused.
First, here's a look at what else we're covering tonight on WAVY.com. The news continues after the break.
Watch WAVY News 10 today, weekday mornings beginning at 4:30.
J.D. Power has ranked Window World highest in overall customer satisfaction with windows and patio doors for 2 years in a row. Beautiful, energy-efficient products, award-recognized customer satisfaction. Window World, simply the best for less.
The Nissan Rogue. With blind spot warning, around view monitor, and intuitive all-wheel drive. Choose Rogue just $249 per month or get 0% APR financing. Innovation that excites. Rogue, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
You only need to know 3 things. Asbestos causes mesothelioma. The asbestos industry knew it, and I'll fight to get you compensation. Call PWHD. Local lawyers with a national reputation.
Toyota Corolla is a great way to elevate your style without spending a fortune. With plenty of technology to help you stay connected, including Bluetooth, standard, plus a 5-star overall safety rating and value you can count on. Now, lease a Corolla for only $159 a month or buy with 0.9% APR or $750 cash back from Toyota. If you're looking for a smart choice, Corolla is the right choice. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places.
You know, here at Window World, we don't just stand behind our windows.
We can dance on them.
If your old windows don't make you want to dance anymore, it's time to call Window World. Window World, simply the best for less.
This segment of WAVY News 10 is brought to you by the new Priority Ford, where you can have it all.
To make sure our customers get the best service, I'm going undercover.
So you can pick it up
Tomorrow afternoon?
morning.
Wow, that's fast.
And reliable.
How reliable?
Guaranteed.
How guaranteed?
Lifetime.
That's huge.
And no one suspected a thing.
So great customer service?
Mission accomplished.
There's no disguising it. More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
Parents in Hampton Roads are calling a controversial method of controlling students' behavior child abuse.
It's called seclusion and restraint. Investigative reporter Chris Ford has more from parents who want this practice banned altogether. Chris.
Yeah, Tom and Nicole, schools use seclusion and restraint to get students to calm down or to keep them from hurting themselves or, say, other students or staff. Some parents of children with autism told us when they learned about it, they decided to homeschool. Specialists and even high-level educators say it's harmful and it doesn't work.
What are they
Barbara Cummings and Kathleen Gray-Cochet have children in the Virginia Beach School Division. Both are speaking out about the use of seclusion and restraint to control unruly students.
It's tragic because these kids are some of our most vulnerable kids.
I'm like, this is child abuse. If I were to lock my child in a closet for a couple of hours, I'd be arrested.
Cummings and her husband found out about seclusion and restraint when they toured Windsor Woods School on behalf of their 8-year-old son with autism. 85 Hampton Roads schools are connected to a program known as CSEP. The Southeastern Cooperative Education Program offers alternative and special education. Staff members are trained in behavioral support and crisis prevention strategies. Those strategies include seclusion and restraint. The school made an audio recording of the tour, and Cummings gave us a copy. Seclusion involves isolating the child in a locked room.
I mean, we've had at times, we've had a couple hours, and we've had 15 seconds. I mean, it really just depends.
There's bare, nothing in there at all. No padded walls, cinder blocks. It's all...
No windows, I presume.
No windows, except in the door.
So there's 2 magnets on the door, and then, so if we close the door, it doesn't lock. You have to flip the switch to lock it.
Children remain in seclusion until they are compliant. We went to the headquarters of CSEP, where officials refused to comment.
You think that there's therapeutic value in having a kid for 2 hours in a secluded, locked room?
There is nothing about seclusion that would be good for him at all.
Restraint is a series of physical holds that staff members use to control an unruly child. Cummings wanted to know if anyone had been injured from those holds.
Or some kids have had bumps, either from headbutting someone or just in the process of getting into the restraint, there was, chin against the wall or something like that.
Federal guidelines discourage the use of seclusion and restraint in strong terms. Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan says it can have very serious consequences, including death, and there's no evidence that it's effective.
The federal guidelines for this mention the word death 12 times in 45 pages. And you're not going to talk with us?
These guidelines say the methods should be used only as a last resort in cases of imminent danger. The Autism National Committee says current Virginia guidelines for seclusion and restraint do not provide meaningful protection for children. We wanted to know how often CSEP uses seclusion and restraint. A former CSEP employee worked at 5 different CSEP schools. She says restraint was used frequently.
It became a daily first response or a second response tactic used by the teachers and the teachers' assistants.
Parents want to see it end completely.
I would like to see it all go away.
And it's not right. It's so not right. There's nothing therapeutic about this.
Parents and experts tell us there is a more effective and less abusive alternative. It uses positive reinforcement instead of seclusion and restraint. A former CSEP employee says she has seen it work.
I've seen a child go from flipping a table and throwing a chair to being calm when given verbal directions, and this is a nonverbal child.
We wanted to ask CSEP if they would consider those alternative methods, but they're not talking.
We can't tell your side of the story if you don't let us. Now, a mother from Norfolk supports CSEP. She says it has taught her children right from wrong and respect. She also says they've been secluded multiple times in a week, or even in the same day. I asked her how she controls her children at home when they get out of hand. She says sometimes she has to call 911. The new stricter rules for Virginia are set to go into effect July 1st, and once they do, the National Autism Committee report says protections in Virginia will greatly improve. Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Lots of cloudiness has moved on into the region. As far as rainfall with that, it's pretty sparse. And no rainfall into our area right now. Most of it's all the way out up into Pennsylvania, but we have had a couple of sprinkles, and you can barely see them even into Pennsylvania and Maryland. We have had a couple of sprinkles toward the Richmond area. but even then, it's nothing real big, and we're not likely to see much of anything going on for us. Just an outside chance of a stray sprinkle during the evening hours, and right now there's nothing out there. So here's what's going on. We've got a reinforcing shot of cooler air. With it, we've got some cloud cover, and we'll have a little more wind during the overnight hours as well. You'll notice these ripples in the clouds as they come off the mountains. That's an indication of a wind hitting the mountain, and it forces it to rise, and then it sets in motion kind of a rolling, and that was kind of, anyway, it sets in motion kind of a rolling effect of wind. So where the air goes up, it creates a little bit more cloud cover. Where it goes down, a little bit more uniform cloud cover, and it's called a gravity wave cloud, gravity wave clouds. It'll kind of move on through. Here's where we are at 9 o'clock. Not all that much wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour, but it perks up a bit overnight, 10 to 15 miles an hour, and that'll last into the first part of the day for tomorrow. We'll see clouds, we'll see sunshine, and temperatures not all that different from what we had today. Maybe a degree or two cooler, and a little bit more breezy along the shoreline, and especially over the eastern shore for the day tomorrow. But the wind drops off at the end of the day for tomorrow. Wednesday, with more of a westerly breeze, it'll start to warm back on up. Here's where we are at the noon hour on Wednesday. This forecast model has some rain getting awfully close and into the area by obviously North Carolina, and perhaps right along the state line by 7 o'clock. Other forecast models have it waiting a little bit more time to move on in, as does this forecast model. This is the long-range model. And as far as rainfall, it really doesn't have it beginning until late at night and into Thursday morning. But Thursday, a very good chance of rainfall into the region. Here's where we are Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening. Now, I'm showing you all the way into the week what's going on. Again, we got that cloud cover tonight. It'll be around 65 coming up for tomorrow. A little more sunshine coming up for Wednesday, but then we see the clouds, and then we see some rainfall coming up on Thursday and into Friday morning. How about the weekend? Well, it comes to an end for the weekend. I just let it run and show you that we got a great weekend coming up, especially after kind of a rainy weekend, obviously, that we had this past weekend. Cloud cover, yeah, sunshine trying to peek on through, and right now we've got temperatures in the upper 50s and the low 60s throughout the year, around 58 to 65 degrees into the region for the day right now. Wider view of temperatures, you can see again 58, 64, 62, 61. So the cloud cover and the sun a little lower in the sky has taken effect, and temperatures are dropping on down. Now, it's not likely to be as cold as what we saw last night. Last night we saw some temperatures that were extremely cold. It was into the upper 30s inland. Tonight, by tomorrow morning, it'll be around 47, then 65 degrees during the afternoon for tomorrow. A little more cloud cover during the afternoon. So 65 for tomorrow, sunshine and cloud cover. 68 on Wednesday. That rainfall moves on in later on in the day. Good chance of rain Thursday and into Friday morning. And then a terrific weekend. We'll update everything for you. It'll be coming up at 11 o'clock.
Will quarterback Taylor Heineke be the first Old Dominion player selected in the NFL draft? We'll hear from him. And will RG3 be around to quarterback the Redskins? The latest next on the Sports Wrap.
Which car company is the first and only to offer built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi in cars, trucks, and crossovers? Ranking from top to bottom.
I'm going to say Mercedes is the innovator.
BMW just because they're pricey.
The final answer? Chevy.
This model has the Wi-Fi in it?
Yep.
That's the dream, to have Wi-Fi in the car.
Get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 models. That's almost $3,700 on this Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Harrison's has been helping families move since 1956, yet some folks still haven't heard of us. Maybe our commercials aren't aggressive enough.
I'm Stan the Moving Man telling you to call Harrison's right now. Anywhere you go, we save you dough. We wrap, patch, stack, and do all that. We train so you won't complain.
True, Stan, but that's not how we roll. Boys,
call 399-MOVE! 399-MOVE!
That's 399-MOVE, in case somehow you missed.
Starring at Star Motors, the award season event. At AB&B Federal Credit Union, we haven't just walked a mile in your shoes.
We probably even bought them at the same place. We're part of this community. We're not kicking our feet up 1,000 miles away, making decisions for our bottom line, not yours. We have a suite of home equity options, like a line of credit, with an intro rate of 1.99% for 9 months and no closing costs. Make your money go further. ABNB. Open, honest, hard-working.
Have it all at Priority Honda's Have It All sale. Have priorities for life, oil and filter changes and state inspections for life, your engine guaranteed for life, and more. Priorities for Life has saved our customers more than $20 million, and the savings continue. Have a 2015 Civic LX for $99 a month. Have a 2015 Accord LX for $125 a month. And these are not leases. Have it all. Only at Priority Honda in Chesapeake.
Even though he has suffered through injuries and has not performed up to par the past couple of seasons, it looks as if Robert Griffin III will remain with the Redskins for at least the next 2 years. I'm Bruce Rader. New general manager Scott McCloughan must have found something he likes about RG3. The Skins today picked up the quarterback's fifth-year option, meaning that they will retain his rights through the 2016 season. This means the Redskins fully guarantee Griffin's salary even if he gets hurt, which is a bit of a gamble. Griffin will receive a little less than $7 million this season. It's the last of his rookie contract. He'll make a little over $16 million in 2016 if the Redskins don't cut him. The NFL draft is Thursday, and we have several players either from the area or that have ties to our area looking to hear their names called. Former Old Dominion quarterback Taylor Heineke hopes to be the first player in that school's brief football history to be selected. He says several teams, especially the Minnesota Vikings, have shown interest in him, but does he have a feeling on which team might take a chance during the three-day draft?
I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if there, there's a couple, and but you never know with the NFL. You know, Jacksonville never called or did anything with Blake Bortles, and they drafted him third overall. So you just never know with the NFL. And I try to tell myself you can't control anything right now, so why stress over it? And I've done everything I could to get to the point I am today. I have no regrets, so I'm looking forward to it.
And so are we, and we'll be talking to several local players about the draft as the week goes on, and I'll have a complete look back at Sunday's NASCAR race in Richmond, plus a complete sports cast tonight at 10:45 on the Fox 43 Sports Wrap, so join me for that.
All right.
We're going back to spring?
Yeah, well, kind of early spring. Because
put you on the spot, didn't
cover. It'll be around 65 tomorrow. Now, we're really watching things as far as that rainfall coming up late in the day on Wednesday or Wednesday night, but a good chance of rain on Thursday. And as far as the weekend, we got to talk about that after the rainfall this weekend and the coolish weekend we had. Looking good so far for the weekend. We'll update everything for you. I'll have that for you. That'll be coming up on WAVY News 10 at 11. Of course, Fox 43 News at 10 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of forecast model updates.
We want to take you back to pictures from Baltimore of the scene there overhead the city where there's been looting, and the Orioles just announced that they have postponed that baseball game for tonight.
There's like a fire there that we're seeing some black smoke coming from a building. NBC Nightly News will pick up the coverage next.
And we're always on WAVY.com.
WAVY News 10 at 6, named Outstanding Newscast by the Virginia Association of Broadcasters.